Ladies and gentlemen, another marvelous week of college football has commenced, and a lot of craziness and new storylines, shocking, have developed. And I'm telling you, there's so many footballs that I just want them all bouncing in my face or whatnot, whatever the kids say. Look, I'm enjoying this nice little slate of football. We're going to review it. We're going to read some of your comments of probably the biggest loser, the state of Florida, when it comes to football. And then, recap some things. And then in the next video, very soon, we'll talk about the top 25. Hook 'em horns, son. But let's get after it. So a little bit of a sneak preview of, kind of what we're talking about. We got the Georgia almost going close to a terrible opponent every single year escapade. They've been doing that since back in the day, since the pre-Kirby days. So that's some real good, wholesome flashbacks for my Georgia fans. UTSA versus Texas. Archer Banning owns the state of Texas. Alabama versus Wisconsin. Hey, man, a lot of fake storylines, but the saddest thing, of course, Mr. Van Dyke going down. You got Ole Miss versus Wake Forest. Is Ole Miss the real deal? I don't know. They just play somebody. Missouri versus Boston College. That made me a little sad. Come on, Billy O.B. I thought you were about to shake things up, but hey, Luther Burton, kind of the real deal. I'm not sure if y'all knew that. Tennessee is the scariest place in America. I'm afraid of Tennessee. Oregon State. Oregon finally looks like a football team. Miami keeps cruising. Let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. Let's go game by game, and we'll give a fuller breakdown on some of these things and issues. So I appreciate y'all joining me today. Please like this video if you like it. Dislike this video if you don't like it. Leave me a comment and tell me what's your biggest prediction for week 4. Make it hot, make it spicy, do what you do. And if you're enjoying the new college football centered videos, let me know. Subscribe, join up, do what you need to do. If not, man, let's get into the video. So starting off hot, Arizona versus Kansas State. This might seem like something that doesn't need to be talked about. It's 14 versus 20, but I thought it was interesting because of what it showed for Kansas. First off, can we just give Kansas State for the last decade of just being a solid ball club? No matter what, they've had some ups and downs, but they have been a solid, respectable football program for easily the last decade. We can go back further, but look, man, at easily the last decade, we can say that they've been a competent football program, and that says a lot. And the fact that they do this statement win, the reason why it's a statement win is because I thought Arizona's number 4, what's his name? Not McMillan. What's his name? Oh, his name is McMillan. Okay, I'm tripping. I thought that was the quarterback's name. But FIFA is the quarterback. Fiftata? I can't. I'm not a rocket scientist, dog. But Terry McMillan, who still is playing like the best wide receiver in all of college football, I thought was the best receiver in all of college football. So I thought they were going to be a little more of a dominant team. But it shows that, hey, that Pac-12 defense is going to do with the Pac-12. They're not the Pac-12 anymore. They're Pac-12 in spirit, son. We can see it. All right. And old Kansas State looking good, looking solid. You got Dylan Edwards, the reject from Colorado. He wasn't a reject. Actually, Deion Sanders actually wished him the best. I think Dylan had a few negative things and some positive things to say Colorado, but it was great to see him shine. It was great to see him shine in the role that I think that he was really meant for. He was in a two-headed backfield over there in K-State, and he's able to do great things in the return game. The dude's got speed. He's got athleticism. He's elite in a lot of ways, so that was great to see there. Georgia versus Kentucky. Like I said, Georgia loves to do this thing, make it close against a bad opponent, and they do it again in spades. It's a hilariously elite. Do I have any memes for this? I'm trying to find the memes, man. Sometimes I like to pop back and forth. Oh, we got to talk about people got macked up this week. It's not good to get macked up. I thought somebody said something crazy about Georgia. All right, we're gonna spare Georgia the ride this time. Hook 'em horns. But no, they're bad. No, they're not that bad. Carson Beck, 160 yards, no touchdowns. That is not a Heisman performance, son. And I think that is the issue. And I think people didn't want to say it about Carson Beck, but the problem is he's a high floor guy. I don't know where Carson Beck's ceiling is. He throws a pretty ball. He's pretty decisive. He's got some wiggle to him. He's a great, let me say that again, a great college football quarterback. When you talk about the NFL level, people talking about him being, a first round pick, which I think he will. But I think it kind of reminds me, and I not to disrespect him, but the Mac Jones, situation. You surround a guy with a lot of talent, and he knows what to do with it. You surround him with a great offensive line, he knows what to do with it. And I don't think that should be slighted against them, but you get in the slugfest against this Kentucky team who, despite being 1-2 and 0-2 in the SEC, and they're probably going to have a hard time this year, that defense, jokes. So I don't want to understate that and just say, oh, Carson Beck's bad, XYZ. That defense was flying around. I still think Carson Beck isn't a great quarterback. I think an elite college football quarterback. I'll go even that step. But again, you want to be able to see a guy that can, really take your team to the next level even when you're going against an elite defense, and in totality should be a pretty lackluster offense, a lackluster team. So I want more out of Carson Beck. I'm not giving up on him, but right now he's a floor guy. Listen, I want to see your ceiling. I want to see you whip it around. Hook 'em horns. I'm not sure if you could tell by my 8 other videos, but I am indeed a Texas fan, and we handled business at UTSA at home. I said out there, but we were at home, I'm pretty sure. Let's lots of memes to talk about. And I think the biggest thing I want to talk about is, again, us being number one, Haven't been number one since 2008, I believe was the last time. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think Texas is officially back. Let me rap to you. And I know we want to talk about Arch Manning and the fact that the media has just completely thrown Quinn Ewers to the wayside. They've been waiting. And someone said in the comments, I got to give you a credit if you're watching this video. I'm probably going to look at your comments. I like making videos of reading through my comments and talking to you guys, so we'll do that too. But they were talking about how, the media has just been waiting to make sure they can promote Arch Manning, and I wouldn't be mad at it either. You know what it is. You know what the game is. That last name holds a lot of weight, so we're not going to be silly in that. And the kid balled out. So shout out to Quinn. We thought it was going to be a little more serious. It seems like he's only going to be out for a few weeks. He's going to miss ULM for sure, but I don't think we need that much firepower against ULM, especially because, like I said, Arch Manning's a dog. And we knew that, and especially when you give a quarterback time to sit in a system and learn a system and grow in that system. The jokes about, he was playing in Louisiana and against prep school kids. Well, when you get trained by Sark and the Mannings and under Quinn Ewers, and you get to play with the Xavier Worthies and future NFL offensive line, it rubs off on you. I think it does. I think you're allowed to develop in a system, and we saw that with Arch Manning. He was as you just say, let's calm down. I'm not saying that, whatever, but it's sad to see Quinn Ewers go down, but good to see our future that it was, the lights were never too bright for him. He just came in, he's just on stop. And that's what I want to see. It's not that, he's excited or he whatever, but the fact that when he's running that offense, he looks like a killer. I'm here, let me get my read, let me do what I do. Let's be decisive, let's be quick, let's make the right read. Let's run for 67-yard touchdowns. So I'm very happy there. Our offensive line is the best in the nation. Sue me. I don't know what to tell you. We've been moving bodies around there. I'm just happy overall. But again, this is more of a story about quarterbacks. And if y'all want me to do a specific video about the quarterback controversy, we can go into it and whatnot. But we can have that conversation another time, another day. Oh, wait, are we number one? Yeah, we are number one. Okay, I was just making sure because this is number 2. It's probably, I know they have like the college ranking and the whatever ranking. Alabama versus Wisconsin. Shout out to Alabama. A lot of people were not writing them off, but they were citing this game as a game that, hey, this could be a challenge. This could be a challenge for Alabama. And I don't think we saw that. And now, hey, I hope Mr. Van Dyke heals up. Awful, terrible story. I hate that, look, some people transfer because they're bad. Other people transfer just because things don't work out. And he seemed to be the story of that. He's had a lot of injury issues in the past. So when you have those injuries and problems in the NIL era, you kind of have to keep starting over and trying new things. So I hate to see it, especially this early in the season. So I hope he gets a speedy recovery. But in response to Wisconsin's supposed to have some, that was the story. It was supposed to, Wisconsin's supposed to have this elite defense that's going to give Alabama problems. They're going to give them fits, a nice offensive line that's going to give them fits, and a decent quarterback. But it just didn't seem like that. Milroe is looking like a dark horse when it comes to a Heisman. And I told y'all at the beginning of the season, again, it's just Wisconsin. We'll see when he really gets into real SEC play. So I don't want to overhype it. But I told y'all Milroe is a great college football quarterback. And I say specifically college football quarterback. His running ability, the lightning that's in his right arm that he can unleash. Now, it may be inconsistent. He might not always do great. But when he does let them up loose and it does get there, it gets there. So I think he's threatening enough with his legs and threatening enough with his arms to really put a lot of defenses into perplexing situations. So I think that's going to be good for Alabama in the long run. Ole Miss versus Wake Forest. I need to watch an Ole Miss game. I peek over. I'm like, nah, I don't believe in Jackson Dart. And then this snow surfing, look him up. I look up, and now he threw for 17,000 touchdowns. I don't believe in Mr. Jackson Dart. They've got a nasty run game over there, and I want to believe in Jackson Dart. He's been looking elite for the past 3 weeks, so there's no reason why I shouldn't. I just need to watch their games. They've been handling business. They're showing that they are a force to be reckoned with in the Ole Miss. Oh, not in the Ole Miss, in the SEC. But there's a reason. I'm about to skip over this Boston College game real quick, because the reason why I'm not afraid of Ole Miss, and I'm not even saying that I'm not, but the reason why I haven't been giving as much credit to Ole Miss is because of these motherfuckers right here. These creamsicle orange, high flying, super powered offense, best defensive end coming out in the draft right now, Mr. Pierce. Why did y'all do that to Kent State? Are y'all trying to prove a point? Clearly, we get it. Y'all have probably the most explosive offense in all of college football. Shout out to Simpson for just taking the game over too. And then their defense does amazing things. Their special team, they come out and kick a onside kick up 30. It's Kent State. I don't know, man. They're trying to. Tennessee feels disrespected. I think they felt like they should have been a top 5 team coming into the preseason. And with Lama Lava, I don't know, with Nico, I don't know how to say his name. I'm not about to DJ ukulele him. With the big bad number. Hey, Nico. I think they've got a chance. That kid can spin it. That kid can run. That kid is an elite quarterback, an elite player in college football, and I think he should be a lot higher on people's Heisman list. Now, the numbers don't say it, 173 and a touchdown, but I don't think he had to do a lot in this thrashing of Kent State. Continuing on, shout out to Oregon for finally looking like Oregon. You do it against your rivals. That's the best way to do it. Dylan Gabriel, still looking good as always. He hasn't been a problem there. Tez Johnson doing what he does, the way he does, how he does it. Cam Ward, like I said, taking care of business. He's slowly and easily and steadily climbing up the Heisman boards, and I think he really deserves it. He's just been, I don't know. I feel like in Miami, it's been quiet about Miami because they haven't played anybody big, but at the same time, a lot of hype for Cam Ward. I think that's a well-oiled machine there. He's running that offense very efficiently and effectively. So I like to see that, man. Utah versus Utah State. I thought this was not a stunner, but I thought it was interesting. It was interesting at first, and then Utah started to pull away, so it is what it was. Oklahoma State looks like a competent football team. It was Tulsa, so it is what it is. Oklahoma finally gets a real, a little more commanding win. And Mr. Arnold here, rushing for 97, rushing for and throwing for 169. He's doing it every way he can. I think Jackson Arnold is just really coming into his own. So we'll have to see. Hey, Red River rivalry time, how much that will hold up. Golly, the refs. I know that's what people were saying, but I think the bigger story here is Lenore Sellers going down for LSU and South Carolina. I mean, that is a big thing. I think, and I don't think we're giving enough credit to how commanding he was. I mean, look at this. And then LSU just comes back and scores. Look, Brian Kelly might actually be a real football coach. Who'd have thought? I don't know. But that was a great game. But I feel like SC kind of sold it. Obviously, they missed the field goal there to tie it up, take it to overtime. A lot of silliness there. But I think LSU might be able to pick up the pieces and make a run for the SEC. They could shock some people. That's still a talented roster. So don't get confused as they start beating some people. Shout out to Michigan, beating Arkansas State by 10. It's looking great. Notre Dame looking like Notre Dame against Purdue. Probably one of the worst teams in all of college football. Nebraska commanding over, I think, like an FCS team. Is that everything? Is that the full week? Where is FSU Memphis? Oh, and I also skipped over. We do need to talk about this Boston College Missouri game because this was a phenomenal game. I thought, especially very early, Castellanos. I don't know how to say his name. The kid's a dog. The kid's a problem. Bill O'Brien can call a game at least through the first half because I don't know what happened after that. Missouri just kind of controlled the game and did some great things. When Luther Burton got cooking, hey, that might be the best wide receiver in college football. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not saying anything, but I know we already talked about Memphis, Florida State. So but they hiding it. I don't know why you ain't showing it. Why can't I see it? Oh, it's because it's Because it's only the top 25. Arizona State, Texas State. We reviewed that game. Great game. Very impactful. Shout out to the Maction. Shout out to the Fun Belt. I said Maction. The Fun Belt for doing what they do, the way they do it, how they do it. Show me the money. And Memphis embarrasses Florida State. I think this is the last game I'll talk about. Actually, where's Florida? Because we already talked about that. Florida gets spanked. Spanked is a little bit much, but Florida gets done in by a backup quarterback. Billy Napier is all but fired. I think there might be a separate video about the state of Florida just being a terrible cesspool of college football right now. I just want to talk about that, dance on that grave. That's it. That was a phenomenal week of week 3 college football. Shout out to Washington State as well, getting their winning over the rival Washington. I think they need to start getting some votes to be ranked. Georgia Tech did what they did. This was a phenomenal game. West Virginia versus Pittsburgh, the backyard ball. Pat McAfee's not going to be happy about that last second one, but there were some great plays, some exhilarating times going on there. App State handling business against East Carolina. I think there were some situations and some fights post game on that one, but I can't show you that because it's the tube. Go check that out. But good stuff, man. Why are UTEP? Anyway, all right, boys. Appreciate y'all. Oh, and ladies. I don't know, there's not a lot of ladies, but ladies with gentle hands, you gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for joining me and watching this video. Great week 3. Great wrap up. Leave me a comment. Like I said, tell me your predictions on week 4. Get at me, man. Subscribe if you enjoying these videos. Like if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. And we will see you next time.